You have 68 wins. You cannot 69 Mina.
Hey everyone, it is the center of attention, Brittany Brooks, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Come on over, Persephone. I'm being see, earlier I said something stupid to him, and now this is my receipt. Okay.
Sabu's just sabotaging you.
Yeah. He sure did. Yeah, he's taking over.
Hijacking is a better word. You're right.
Good luck.
Shout out to Simply Reliable Studios making their Symphony debut, sponsoring this match and the entire Dragon Kai demonstration.
Heyo, this is Jack Cartwheel. You are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Noah. I believe in Datula. The Meltzer of the multiverse. Who the fuck wants to compare themselves to another? How much of a mark do you have to be? You couldn't even pick a professional athlete. You went with a fucking journalist? Grow up, man.
We just want to say thank you to Simply Reliable Studios for voting us as Tag Team of the Year.
Of course.
Because you know what they say, right? If you can't swim,
You're bound to drown.
Tonight, she is sponsored by Simply Reliable Studios from Orlando, Florida. She is everybody's favorite BFF, Izzy Marino.
Get it? Got it.
It's Wednesday! You know what that means? The Simone Studios is live once again with another live watch as we bring you coverage tonight of AEW Dynamite, which will be defined not only with crowning a brand new TBS champion, but we will hear from both owner prediction tournament winners, as well as, of course, the AEW World Championship line and defense against Mark Briscoe. That and so much more as I welcome in once again to Super Reliable Studios, and I am never alone. Happy Canada Day, by the way, to all you Canadians out there. As the Canadian Connection will be joining me shortly, but thank you all for tuning in once again. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. You want to dictate the conversation. Super chat as simple as that. With me, of course, in the call this evening, shout out to Mrs. It is Nick Ferrantes, that Nick Belief, as we get ready to cover tonight's AEW Dynamite and Will Ospreay currently being talked about with John Moxley. John Moxley going to be proud to see what the bruv has accomplished as he was praising his wife, as John Moxley will follow, of course, Will Ospreay all the way to the end of this, as we are now on the road to redemption and we are getting ready to fly overseas to Wembley Stadium. Yeah, it looks like Ospreay's got a little bit of humble words to share with John Moxley. He had to kick things off and good set. Safek, good to see you in the chat as well as everybody in the chat as always. Oof. Staring stare down. But words can tell. Beautiful. He who defines himself can never know who he really is. To be the real thing, you gotta live it. Sounds like some Confucius wisdom there. Clearly, John Moxley and Will Ospreay have huge desires to see what all the wrestling truly can be. This is full of carnies, liars, backstabbers, those that wear securities on their sleeves, and all this crap. Fully charred down. Accurate. John Moxley looks to call himself the protector to preserve this, and sees Will Ospreay to be the next one to do so. Oof. Is that a Death Rider sticker or emblem? You wear this, you can ride with us. Wow. And John Moxley saying he's proud of Will. You know, Will Ospreay did say at one point that he doesn't trust them He doesn't forgive them, but what John Moxley said had a lot of truth to it. And Kenny Omega, the other part of this equation. These three literally the cause and effect of each other in AEW. Kenny Omega also congratulating the Bruv. This is a very interesting looking segment. You're not my dad in this situation. Will Ospreay needs to look out for himself, though. Ooh, just because you get on yours, I'm giving myself. And there's the champion, MJF. This is so foretelling of the future, and I love this. But of course, this was an exclusive after Forbidden Door, in case those are wondering. And MJF with a solid comment. I'll see you at Wembley, bruv. Pretty much already calling what's ahead for him. Kenny Omega saying he'll see Will Ospreay Wednesday. But this doesn't top what we have. You always be my friend, I always care. Take care of yourself. How much is Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay define each other's careers? And how much does Will Ospreay have to figure out what will define his career? Well, let's go down to Justin Roberts in the ring to get ready for our first match, and we'll further dissect that promo during the commercial break. As we are kicking things off with the AEW World Championship.
Yep.
And Nick, good to see you. How are you this evening? Happy Canada Day to you.
Thanks, Noah. Yeah, it's Canada Day. We like Canada.
Canada, decent neighbor.
I'm going to be a very good Canadian today. I will not be saying any disparaging remarks about any Canadian province or territory today. I'm going to be peaceful today.
I'm proud to hear that for you. It looks like Will Ospreay is not the only one that might have a changing of a conscience. And speaking of changing of conscience, we saw this past Sunday at Forbidden Door Andrade El Idolo show his true colors as he clocked MJF and dropped him like a bad habit and said, F you, not only to the AEW World Champion, but the Don Callis family that led to Mark Briscoe hitting the J drawer on Big Jake Doyle to earn this match tonight as he's called his shot for what he believes is his destiny in being a disruptor to Wembley and winning his first AEW World Championship with already one win over the devil himself that defined MJF's hiatus. MJF is looking to remove Mark Briscoe entirely from his past tonight as he looks only forward to the Bruv at Wembley Stadium and defending his Triple B.
Yeah, that was we're okay. I'm liking it. I really okay. Let's see it. Let's see how we do it. Let's see how we go about. Let's see how we go about this stuff.
As your brain operates at half speed as usual, but I do understand the remarks. That's, of course, conversations going on the X. Use hashtag AEW Dynamite. MJF putting out a tweet saying, "You're dumb, blue collar." As again, we could literally see the entire picture of Wembley change between here and now, even prior to redemption, which could very well be, for one of these men, a roadblock. And of course, MJF defending the Triple B, the AEW World Championship, senior official, Paul Turner. He's been champion now on this third run for 39 days. Game go, boy! And Mark Briscoe, of course, who pinned Team MJF at Forbidden Door to earn this match, former Ring of Honor World Champion. As MJF is once again going to have Justin Roberts insult this town in California. Where they're in San Diego, by the way, which I've heard has a really great zoo. He doesn't care about San Diego. He Comes from the best place in the world, Long Island, New York, blah, blah, blah. Good grief. This freaking guy's ego. The size of the Empire State Building. But results justify it. Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF. Drop the flag. I think it's a strong poker face for the champion. It's also one of those things, though, Nick, when we look at MJF, and we've always considered one of his key attributes to the Achilles heel, his insecurity in himself. But there also is that sense of false confidence he always seems to have. He's quite a poker face at times, and he's got to consider that again. He's never kicked out of the J Driller. He already took that prior to Forbidden Door, and Mark Briscoe was one of the last people to beat him.
Yeah, this should be an interesting. It should be an interesting matchup. I love it. This is a hot crowd right now. Let's see how we go about this.
With only one defense underneath his current run against Roosh, of course, Mark Briscoe will mark the second defense of MJF's current run, as these two men have been defined since their first encounter in Cleveland. And of course, MJF won that night. Mark Briscoe won the follow-up at AEW Out last year. Oh, man, planted in that crazy tables and tax match as the Son of God looks to humble and defeat a devil. That Death's Door steel cage told us everything we need to know of how far Mark Briscoe was willing to go to ascend to heaven. Irish whip to MJF, up and over, out of the corner. I tweak the knee there, and the knee, of course, has been heavily one of the killings of MJF, catching MJF off guard with the power driver, cover, gets a 2 count. Mark Briscoe, sudden impact there, and immediately the champion changes the outlook of this match. And clearly, this Lucifer has a taste for blood, biting the head of Mark Briscoe. We saw how bloody Mark Briscoe was when MJF free threw Joey Styles a chair in his face. It's also one of those things, though, that, again, MJF knows he has to be even more aggressive than Mark Briscoe is on his title. I do think there is a sense of fear in MJF when it comes to facing Mark Briscoe, considering how unpredictable this man really is.
Yeah, and especially with the hardcore nature of Mark. I see that. I see what you're saying. I would agree to that.
I mean, 5 minutes in this match, and already we got a busted Briscoe. And again, you would think that means that Mark Briscoe right now is more vulnerable. You would be surprised if he didn't follow this man and Ring of Honor like I have. Irish whip, back body drop again to Mark Briscoe, and MJF just hammering his way with the challenger.
I'm surprised this wasn't. I'm glad it's a regular match and not a
stipulation.
Yeah.
Well, MJF does call himself the best professional wrestler on the planet. He doesn't need to stoop to these levels or play these games. And despite the fact he's arguing against every one of them, he's literally competed in every one. The back body drop this time, Mark Briscoe lands on his feet. MJF, though, might be unaware as Mark Briscoe takes his stance and immediately going after MJF's chest with those palm strikes. That redneck karate might be coming into play here. And
redneck kung fu.
Rain style with the kick. And who says only works in video games? Now Mark Briscoe mounting an offense here, hooking the champion. They're heading on fro right now. And to your point, this San Diego crowd is red hot, almost as hot as it is right here in the Midwest. Good grief almighty. 5 minutes carry, continued fire pressure. Spicoli driver, followed through, sliding forearm. Taking the champion down, and he might be feeling a little froggy. And Mark Briscoe up to the top rope. MJF in the drop zone, and MJF, takes the base out from Mark Briscoe.
Mm-hmm.
And MJF again showing how smart his in-ring IQ is, saying that he called that play coming from a mile away. And the fact that this man that was primarily known as a tag team specialist for pretty much his entire life alongside his brother Jay Briscoe now finds himself in this huge opportunity as a solo player, leading both for his family as a father and, of course, in a competitor. Froggy Bow! Cover 1, 2, no!
That was a nice looking froggy bow.
And again, wiping the blood away from his eyes. Froggy Bull that led to many of Mark Briscoe's tag team championships alongside Jay. Representing 12-time Ring of Honor champion as we look at the replay here. The elbow right to the Black Heart of MJF. Speaking of Black Heart, stay tuned as Leo Rush will be challenging for the TNT Championship against the Jet Kevin Knight. And also still to come, we will crown a brand new TBS champion in the first ever AEW Survivor the Fittest 6-way eliminator match. Wrenching the arms down the mat, and MJF obviously setting up for the Fujiwara armbar, a.k.a. the Saw of the Earth. The Cheshire Cat smile. And again, you see the heavily bandaged left knee on the run. Runs into Mark Briscoe's elbow, sent to the outside of the ring. And you do not want to be on the outside with Mark Briscoe, especially when Mark Briscoe is on the move. And toe back on Hero through the ropes. And takes MJF down. Whoa! And of course, Mark Briscoe loves to use a chair as a stepping stool, despite the referee's admonishments.
Yeah, this when Mark does this, like, I get it, but he makes the ref look like an idiot. Because if I'm the ref, why am I letting that chair come in the ring?
Because he knows he doesn't use the weapon. He uses that's it. That's step up, Tope, kind of low, wiping out MJF. As Mark Briscoe's in the driver's seat, will he man up and gain the AEW World Championship here tonight?
But now look, it's like...
And right now, Mark Briscoe, well, you also got to consider the fact that it's an AEW World Championship match. The referee is going to offer some form of leniency, but we've also seen at times when you don't directly use the weapon and you indirectly are unfortunately the victim of it, it doesn't result in disqualification. It sometimes results in literally your undoing.
But this shouldn't be allowed. Like again, he's making the ref look like an idiot because if I'm the ref, I'm dismantling the table because you're like, why are we using a fucking table in an ad?
Again, he's just setting it up. He hasn't used it yet, to your point, though. But again, AEW, there is leniency here, especially with these championship matches. And considering we're dealing with Mark Briscoe, and MJF wants to make sure that Mark Briscoe is permanently removed from the world title picture, much like him and Adam Page. It's do or die for everyone's favorite redneck from standing for it. But MJF hooking at Mark Briscoe. Oh, man. Great move by MJF. Give the devil his due as he turns the table upside down and sends Mark Briscoe flying back first on the apron with that overhead toss hard down to the floor. Now breaking the referee's 10 count. Sheesh. And Mark Briscoe, former TNT champion, looking to join the accolades of Darby Allin, of course, former TNT champion, and, of course, AEW World Champion, who also beat MJF earlier this year in record time. As our opening contest continues here tonight on what should be another Red Hat Dynamite, will MJF continue to show why the Devils on another level? Stay tuned for quiet picture-in-picture, a full commercial here on HBO Max, F Television. And good to see you, of course, Darren G as well. And again, it's not the first time we've seen this type of booking situation here, especially when MJF doesn't want to deal with his opponent any more than he has to. I'm just saying. Clearly, after what we saw Forbidden Door, MJF has only one focus, and that is Will Ospreay, the man that beat him the last time they were in Wembley Stadium for what he christened the AEW American Championship. And I'm sure MJF has been waiting to get his revenge and get his win back.
So, that promo.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? Take it away, because again, you know about the triangle of AEW, Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, those three men are going to define the future of the AEW World Championship and honestly each other.
Story, great. I love it. Keep it going. They're just adding another layer to it. They're adding another element to this. I like it.
What do you think about the remarks, though, from Jon Moxley, particularly, especially handling that olive branch of Will Ospreay to join him in this mission statement, ride forever as a Death Rider?
Yeah, and it's like, will he do it, right? Like, will he become a Death Rider, or is this all just, or will he become a Death Rider, or will he stick to his values and be him, right? Like, you've seen slowly but surely he's transforming into the Death Rider, into being a Death Rider. But is he going to start losing himself, right? And that's where I think the whole Kenny Omega comes in. Will he lose himself by becoming a Death Rider? So that's kind of wait to be seen.
Well, the fact of the matter is, how far are you willing to go to become AEW champion versus how far you're willing to go to win the opportunity at the expense of Schwartz Strickland in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament? What will be the lethal shot that's going to take to seize the greatest prize in AEW, the AEW Championship, as this match continues? And Mark Briscoe, once again, sends MJF to the outside as Mark is in hot pursuit of the champion and the championship tonight. Of course, win the world title, you literally change the entire narrative for All In at Wembley Stadium, considering the mutual respect that Mark Briscoe and Will Ospreay have for each other. And right now, pulling away the protected padding in the building, exposing the concrete. And also, I'm going to expose the other half of the Canadian connections. I saw a little beep because, ladies and gentlemen, she's yours, she's mine, she's our Canadian friend, Ash, as I am with the entire Canadian connection tonight. Ash, it is good to see you. Welcome to AEW. How are you? And looking for the J Dread back body drop on the concrete as Mark goes splat.
I'm good. Hi, guys.
Hello, Ash. Welcome to AEW Dynamite. Hope that you're doing well and happy Canada Day to you and your family.
Thank you.
So, Ash, I've been meaning to ask you, of course, you were on the call with me for Forbidden Door. And right now we have MJF looking to once again maybe damage its own knees in the process to literally remove a foreign in his life. But Mark Briscoe getting the bear of MJF. Back body drop on the concrete. The fact that MJF chose, or Mark Briscoe chose, whether it was both sides or just Mark Briscoe, to not only go after this AEW Championship tonight, but be the opening match on Dynamite, considering they both went through Death's door. Bang, bang, catches Jack elbow drop off the apron. What does that mean when it comes to Mark Briscoe if he loses tonight? Where does Mark Briscoe go from here? And for that matter, MJF, where does MJF go from here if we do get another shock of the century?
I think Mark Briscoe is like one of those now or never type of people where it's just like, why wait? I'll call my shot now, especially after the grueling battle MJF had the previous night. So he's probably thinking, well, he's not at 100%.
Kick on that too. Continue.
So Mark Briscoe's probably thinking, why not call it now? Because MJF's not going to be at 100%. So therefore, I get the advantage.
Which is smart, right? Like, to call your shot and say, I want it right away and not waiting. You didn't pull a stupid babyface move.
Well, also considering this, guys, we talk about the physical state of MJF and Mark Briscoe. What about the mental state of MJF, considering what happened to him at Forbidden Door? Remember, Andrade decked him and has also put his name out there that he wants the AEW World Championship. And MJF and Andrade have been at odds ends since House of Glory going all the way back to April. Big headbutt.
That's possible.
Andrade, of course, a free man.
Because if MJF sub by hook or crook somehow retains, he's got Andrade waiting in the wings for him as we build up to redemption in a couple weeks.
But for that matter, Ash, we also got Kenny Omega also breathing on that doorstep. We heard in that face-to-face how Will Ospreay doubted Kenny Omega's ability in himself to believe that he still could hold the AEW Championship again. And now Will Ospreay, for the first time, will finally get a chance to pursue that accolade in front of his own family and country at Wembley Stadium.
Did you guys see the video package that they posted online?
I have not seen it yet.
Oh, really good. They did like a video thing with Will talking about Wembley. It's actually really well done.
Yeah, talking about, of course, how the chairs he used to see set up there, how he used to go there when he was a kid to watch football games. Oh, drop toe face first to Mark Briscoe in that chair. And the fact that he is literally going to be in the biggest arena in his country in the main event for what he holds so near and dear in this business of professional wrestling, being the guy to lead it forward. It's got to be an absolute dream for Will Ospreay. But again, right now, it's got to be psychological warfare that could become a nightmare considering where he's at between Jon Moxley and the Death Riders. A crossroads for the bruv. Oh, man, Shotang. Vicious shot right to the side of the head and throat. Mark Briscoe catches MJF on the run-in. And right now, Mark Briscoe perched on that barricade. What the hell is this crazy redneck thinking? Walking forward with a running blockbuster. Another huge risk paying off right now for the challenger, but again, he's got to get back inside the ring as the Talcadoid just hands me a pinfall submission inside the ring, and we still have a table looming on the outside that MJF actually set up this time. As MJF's laid out here, and whoa. There's a lot of blood being lost here, Ash. It looks like Mark Briscoe lost his footing there for a second. Mark Briscoe up to the top rope, looking down on the devil, looking to give him his due. Fucking ball through the table!
Wasn't Mark the one who set that thing up?
Yeah,
two
Mark
pieces.
was on the table.
So why is he disqualified? This is what I mean.
Nick, how long have you been a wrestling fan? Don't tell me you're that stupid. Cover 2 and gets the foot on the bottom rope.
That would mostly call for disqualification, but however, this is AEW, ref's discretion.
Thank you, Ash.
But
Stop
I get where you're
trying
coming
to
from.
make
It's just
sense
the
out of
debate.
nonsense. It doesn't work in this business. Accept it.
I was about to say, yeah, it's just like, I get where you're coming from. You want like the rules and things to be consistent, especially in AEW. Like, there was way too many leniency towards the ref's discretion, and they use that to their advantage.
Well, I mean, hey, it's been AEW's MO for freaking 6 years. Why change the narrative now? The midsection, looking for the J drop from the eye, and I mean that lightly, Nick, because at the end of the day, Nick, you cannot let these things literally obsess you and to the point that you don't know what to think about anything. And I see that too many times from you. Big forearm smash from Mark Briscoe.
Okay, I'd be fine with the table spot, but you know it's a 2.5-2-hour show. You know you're gonna get another table spot somewhere in this show.
They can't be clothesline wipe out MJF. Well, you don't know that for sure, but it does seem a little bit foretelling considering what we have still to come. But at the end of the day, if the live crowd's enjoying it and if the fans are enjoying it, who's to say?
I saw a prediction someone made about All In, and it got me mad. I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna happen, isn't it?
Froggy Boom! What prediction you got, Ash?
So someone posted it just like, and that made me mad. I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna happen, isn't it? And he's like, I was like, they're being a cheeky asshole to it about it. They're like,
Thriller! He did it! Back press up the near leg. We got a new champ. Jeff finally kicks out of that finisher.
so I know this person is being cheeky, but I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna happen, isn't it? And then they, as a joke, they're like, man, I can't wait for All In for when freaking Will Ospreay kicks out of the one-winged angel.
I mean, it's a very realistic possibility, and honestly, it could be foreshadowing when those two go one-on-one again, because he's never done that. But again, hindsight's 20/20, and at the end of the day, the legacy of this business is not about this move hits. It's going to win 100% of the time. 1 out of 99 moves literally wins on the first time anymore in this business. It's about how far you take your opponent and yourself to get the victory. And that's why the business dynamic has become. And honestly, I've gotten used to it. To those that are sick of it, don't watch it. Regular the eyes right now, the Mark Briscoe has no finishers really protected, but it is what it is. You got to adapt to what the business has become and quit living off the past. Otherwise, you just need to get away from it because it's not going to go back to the way things were because it wasn't that interesting back then based on the environment and culture that's being created. Sunset flip, looking for the pin. MJF sitting in. The cover of both legs. Mark Briscoe, the reversal. 2. MJF escapes.
I mean,
it's a midsection. Some people take the business way too seriously. Go ahead, Ash.
I mean, we live in a time where there's a reason why certain wrestlers have multiple finishes as opposed to the one that gets the job done.
Alabama slammer into the heat seeker DDT. That might be it. The cover MJF to retain. MJF is still the AEW World Champion.
Yep. I mean, great outcome. Great match.
And once again, another dark omen of MJF's past put to rest. Not only defeating Mark Briscoe, but kicking out of his J-Dress. MJF is currently preserving his way to Wembley Stadium. Still the possessor of the Triple B. The devil you know versus the devil you don't. Maybe Mark Briscoe didn't fully know MJF tonight. Who knows?
I can't wait to see the world title with the Will Ospreay, like, Assassin's Creed inspired side plates. Oh, it's gonna be that's gonna look so good.
Well, again, we are foretelling what could be a future. It is not a certainty. It is simply possibility. At the end of the day, what you see on screen is what you have now. What you hope to see on screen is possibly what you hope to see to come. But I don't want to see this come forward because, again, insult to injury, 100K, Dynamite Diamond Ring, looking for an exclamation point on everyone's favorite redneck. Again, Mark Briscoe unaware of it. Oh, jeez. Absolutely unnecessary. Yeah, someone right now needs to check on Mark Briscoe's. Yeah, then you have to. MJF once again instigating himself the best versus the world and Mark Briscoe should never be in the room with me. I'm the man. Again, obsession with himself. Now kicking away AEW staff. I mean, seriously, you proved a point, all right? You got to focus on bigger and better things, all right? Now, what do you have to prove? Literally trying to knock a man out again that's already knocked down.
Uh-oh.
Someone needs to get out here and stop this.
When somebody did, somebody will.
Well, I mean, usually that is the formula. And unlike MJF, we know Mark Briscoe has friends. But we also know Mark Briscoe is defiant. And what? Wait a second. Kenny Omega! And Omega coming forward here to the end of Mark Briscoe. And again, folks, will revenge be sought? Will redemption be found for everyone at AEW come Sunday, July 26th? And looks like Kenny Omega has something to say here. Kenny Omega, once again, for telling what he wanted MJF about. Knocking on his door again. Did I see it, Max?
What?
I'm going to say if it's tables, chairs, ring. No. Tonight? What? Wait, what? MJF doesn't work double. Come on, Kenny, be real.
Well, not since Wembley.
Well, the inaugural all then, there's that. But still. MJF right now being called out here. And calling a dust fire like California, which he's not wrong. Parts of it, anyway.
No.
Rest of that white trash hick. You want me to wrestle again? Well, Kenny Omega would do that on any day, but MJF, never on any day.
It was true.
He's doing another shot at Triple B. Laughable. He has 2 wins over him, that's right. Technically, you didn't kick out of it. Your foot was on the rope.
Also, it waited like 20 seconds after, so it wasn't like it was immediate.
Yeah, after you knocked out the referee.
Uh-oh.
Can't back out Omega? You're a fraud, so the answer is no. As MJF says no to Kenny Omega. Wait. Hold on. What's MJF thinking now? The devil of the plan. What is MJF about to instigate here? We're going to get a doubles road to redemption. I think he had a big idea. What? I'll see you next week. On one condition. Uh-oh. Time for a deal with the devil. Oh, boy. You would never get a shot at Triple B if you don't have to be by the night. Kenny Omega versus MJF at Beach Break next week. Beach Break. If I win, MJF wins. The same thing happens to you that happened to him and Page. He's trying to move Kenny Omega permanently from the championship picture.
You know how we were all wondering when Hangman's going to come back and fuck over MJF?
Yeah, I think we got a good idea now when the sun may rise in the freaking Sunshine State. As Kenny Omega's livelihood to be AEW World Champion ever again will be on the line if he accepts this deal with the devil. This road to redemption might hit a dead end next week, but still come tonight, we will crown a brand new TBS champion on TBS. Kenny Omega with a lot of food for thought.
But MJF never said it was a world title match.
Well, it's not about it being a world title match. It's about the opportunity to maybe go after the title. Keyword, the devil is dictating opportunity. We got a commercial break here on television. This is an opportunity for JJ to come in, as I heard something from the private room that the Renegade has something to show. I have something important to show. So, JJ, go ahead and let it be shown, bruv.
So, while you guys were doing that match, obviously I was on socials, as I do. And I stumbled across something very interesting. Apparently, the mayor of San Diego declared today Thunder Rosa Day.
Oh, interesting, but I'm not too far away from Tijuana.
Thank you so much to the city of San Diego, specifically to the mayor, Todd Gloria, for this beautiful proclamation. It's more than just a paper for Thunder Rosa. It's been 20 years of struggle, 20 years of becoming who she never thought she will, to unleash all the empowerment and power that immigrant young girl had when she came here in 2004. And now, July 1st, it is Thunder Rosa Day. It is more than just winning the championship. It is more than just doing the stuff that we do in the ring. It's everything that I've done outside. Volunteering, helping for my community, empowering women, empowering young girls, and the most important, representing mi gente de Mexico, mi gente Latina, all of you guys. I will continue to fight for you, and I will continue to fight for what's right. Thank you, and thank you, AEW, for everything. I just want to say thank you so much.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations to La Mera Thunder Rosa. Absolutely deserved and earned. That's a huge, special, humble accomplishment. That must be her family, of course, her madre and her papa. So, again, muchas gracias to everything Thunder Rosa does, and I'm curious to see what that might mean for our future, because after an incredible effort with Olympia against Divine Dominion, there's still golden ambitions, I'm sure, for her and possibly gaining the AEW Women's World Championship, which, of course, she has faced Fekla already for and lost. But with a road to redemption for anybody now, as the fallout leads us forward to Wembley Stadium at the end of the line, it's anyone's opportunity to step forward here and see what they can create out of tonight.
I mean, if they announced this today as Thunder Rosa Day in San Diego, and are they in San Diego still?
They're literally here tonight.
Dynamite is in San Diego, Nick.
Okay,
yeah, you're in Canada, but you need to look at your GPS.
No.
They are literally in San Diego as you are watching this.
No, but the reason
and
why
Collision
I'm saying,
tomorrow will be from San Diego because they're filming it tonight.
Which makes sense with the holiday weekend.
So the reason why I say that is because obviously something like this doesn't come out of the blue. If they knew that this was going to happen, should have gave her, like, hopefully we see Thunder Rosa on the show. She would have been great, and no offense to Maika, she's probably great, but you could have had her in the TBS Championship match. I don't know, just food for thought.
If we go off of social media, and I know that's a dangerous thing to start a sentence with, that video was posted at like 4:30. For all we know, that happened at 4:30 Pacific time. So 6:30 Ash's time, 7:30 y'all's time. Don't be surprised if she's on Collision. Assuming that it got posted right after it happened. You know, she may not have been able to be there quick enough to do a match for Dynamite, but on the taped Collision, this Wednesday, this happened. Here's a highlight footage as she comes out to the ring for a match.
MJF running down the resume of the people that he has beaten his AEW career, saying that was an easy dub. As Kenny Omega is 0-2 against MJF, and also MJF warning Andrade Igolo that my wrath will hit you like a ton of bricks. You have payback coming from Big Hebrew. Logan, Kenny Omega, and Will Ospreay. The best fresh wrestler in the world is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. You calling Kenny Omega gutless, you realize what you just did.
But
And speaking of another man that you just named, there's Will Ospreay. Bring your neck, sucking yourself off like that, man. Damn! Ospreay trying to figure out why MJF did that stipulation. I love this.
That was good.
MJF saying I will see your pill ads in Wembley, whether the schmucks at home like it or not. Definitely, certainly, definitively, MJF sees only one path forward for him and AEW through the bruv at Wembley Stadium. Well, that being said, we go to Tony Schiavone, a man that's worked 50 years in this business, upstage. Let's see what's going on now.
Okay, all right.
Steph's door. And it looks like we're going to get some words from the real Latino man. That's Andrade El Idolo. Now a free man graces the stage.
Andrade's looking dapper out there.
How you know? How you know? Always dressed to the nines, Andrade El Idolo, La Sombra, former IWGP Intercontinental and Global Heavyweight Champion, NXT Champion, and no longer a money man, but a made man in his own merit in pursuit now of the Interworld Championships. Let's see what's next for Andrade. There's a smile on his face, and I don't blame him. That shirt was so damn good, by the way. Not often we can't drive with a promo. I am done with Don Callis' family. Pendejo, MJF. Accurate.
Andrade is over.
That facts. You're going to become the new AEW World Champion. So, I have one question. I wonder what that question is. How you know? Hey, Ash. How you know?
Oh, this is gonna.
How you know?
If this is gonna go down the way I think it's gonna go down.
Well, apparently, Don Callis, again, a man you never cross without getting a receipt. Jake Doyle, Brian Cage, and Lance Archer, 3-on-1 assault on the Sobra. Don Callis exacting his revenge, screwing this man without a screwdriver. As you're trying to say, Nick, sorry about that. With the blitz. Oh! Andrade dead with a discus lariat by the machine, Brian Cage.
You need LFI right now. Where's Roosh?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, Roosh, for all we know, still might be recovering what happened to him against MJF. Let's not forget, he was also a victim of MJF when he challenged him for the AEW World Championship. But of course, Andrade and Roosh go all the way back when Roosh first arrived in AEW and became part of Eagle Benables, led and created by Andrade El Igolo. As Brian Cage hoists Andrade up. Oh, God! Real claw!
Oh, yeah.
Liking Andrade.
Dralistico, Roosh, the whole LFI coming back together.
Yeah, I can see it. Oh, crap. Don Callis with a microphone in the ring. I've got something important to say. Sure, you always do. You freaking walking thumb. How you know, cabron? And Kevin Knight out here, of course, he has the match to win as Brian Cage falls and drive to the outside. Well, Don Callis getting a little bit of revenge as we look towards the one you look up to. Kevin Knight in action next, defending the TNT Championship against Black Heart Leo Rush. Again, Ash, it's his own time itself. You betray Don Callis, you end up getting screwed by him in some way.
And replaced by another person.
And it makes me wonder who's going to take that spot. Speaking of which, get ready to see the TNT title defended up next on Dynamite when we return for this commercial break. F Television. Oh, all right. Well, as we got a moment here, I'm just going to say on behalf of the two Canucks, how you know. With that being said, thank you all so much for tuning in again to another feature presentation of Live Watch Event here at CMLL Studios. Hope you enjoy. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Tell a friend again, Noah Foster, Ash, and Nick, the Canadian Connection. We are your commentary team for this evening's festivities on AEW Dynamite. Really, JJ? Really? Cut that off. Public domain my ass, not copyright. All right. But that being said, to Kenny Omega, to Chris Jericho, Bret the Hitman Hart, to Chris Benoit, the Bygone Life, to anybody that has graced the Great White North, happy Canada Day to all of you as you celebrate your independence. America celebrates 250 years this coming weekend. How you know? Because I know numbers, bruv. And speaking of numbers, thank you for those that tuned in earlier to our Predictions League breakdowns. We broke down the Forbidden Door one last time for closing it shut, as well as Night of Champions. And again, we'll be back here at the CMLL Studios this coming weekend for the weekly moderated conversation of Wrestling Nash. That is the Saturday Shenanigans. Hosted and moderated by the regular Wrestling JJ Williams. Stay tuned for more on that, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be back here next week covering next week's Dynamite as we head to the beach for a beach break. As we now know, or wait to know, if Kenny Omega will take up the Devil's Deal in what could be his last chance to get any closer to the AEW World Championship, or MJF removes him from that picture altogether. Also come that week, Tommaso Ciampa goes one-on-one with Jericho for the first time ever. Looking to seize a moment and show the world that Ciampa will always and has been better than Jericho. And so much more next week as we look forward to what's still ahead tonight on AEW Dynamite. Well, that being said, it's nice to just take a break and reprieve here. And again, hope everyone enjoys the conversation, reactions, the coverage. Again, shout out to everybody that watched all our coverage this weekend. Apologies again for not covering Summerversary or NXT Great American Bash TV. You can find the full show on YouTube. Summerversary was the first time TNA felt like TNA. And at some point, we may cover it on demand, but due to finances and circumstances, it might just be more so simple take this weekend on Shenanigans. Stay tuned for more on that. Yeah, I see you for a moment. Got a commercial, but what's on your mind?
Something I would like to do, if able, and it kind of depends on everyone's availability and schedule and everything, but with Saturday being July 4th, being our Independence Day, I think that would be a great time to do Great American Bash. You know? 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, before everyone starts firing up those grills. It's only like 2 hours on YouTube. Less than 2 hours, I think.
You're right.
You know, before everyone starts having their barbecue, their hot dogs, their burgers, or as my buddy Double A Aaron Austin used to call them, sliders and rollers. You know, I think that would be a good opportunity. And then, nice little reprieve, let everyone get their grub, let Noah get his nap in, and then shenanigans.
It's not my NXT, but I'm always a team player, so I'll put it like this, JJ. If I'm the only one that can be reliable to do that, whether Joey Styles or with you or Walter Cruz, then I will humbly do it for the Super Reliable Studios, if you want to make it official.
All right. I was going to say you don't have to answer now. Think about it through Dynamite. But if you're going to jump right into it, cool beans.
Look, once in a while.
I am going to put you on the spot about one thing, though.
And what is that?
Because you talked earlier this year about wanting to do more tournaments.
Yes.
So is the Simple Man Noah Foster doing the Knockouts television title tournament?
That's on the TNA Plus app on TV. So as long as they actually have matches booked, announced before the damn show airs, and I am an advocate of women's wrestling, damn it, I'm hopeful that they actually can build something with this title and retire the Knockouts Tag Team Championships, then maybe. because I don't know what tomorrow looks like, as my TV just went from darkness to a very weird rain in a dark white light as we get ready for Lio Rush versus Kevin Knight. So I'll tell you what, if they actually have matches announced, then yeah, I'll do it. Because
I know 3 have been announced. When we get our next commercial break, full commercial break, not picture in picture, I'll come in and let you know what they are. I need to find them first, but I know they announced 3.
All right, keep me posted, and I'll see what I can do. With that being said, let's go ahead and move forward to this. As it rains inside AEW with the new Ring of Honor World Television Champion, who, of course, Ash, was somehow packed inside Death's door in a duffel bag.
How the hell were they able to fit him in that? That is beyond me.
You know what? With Lio Rush, it's fine. I don't know. But apparently, if you can get past TSA like that, I guess you can get past Death's door like that. And Lio Rush, of course, who just won the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, now the face of ROH TV, could very well become the face of TNT if Kevin Knight's not careful here. Despite the golem-like demeanor, let's not underestimate Lio Rush's in-ring capability. Freaking velocity and agility, former, of course, X-Division champion, Cruiserweight champion, as Stephon Smith holds what Lio Rush wants to covet dearly, and Kevin Knight doesn't even want him to touch it. I honestly don't blame him, honestly. I mean, again, the mental warfare, the mind games are on full display here already. The Lio Rush chants raining out like you're loud and proud. Kevin Knight, of course, who won this title in a casino gauntlet match back at AEW Dynasty, when it was vacated by Kyle Fletcher due to injury, and the bell rings underway, and Lio Rush apparently wants Kevin Knight to see what's in the bag. And notice the heavy bandage around Kevin Knight's head here, by the way, Nick, regarding that Death fall in Death's door off the top of the cage for those tables.
Well, I think he got that from the sparkler, right?
Most likely.
Yeah, the explosive, yes.
Right now, Lio Rush checking the bag, and at least they didn't explode in his hands. I wonder what's in there. And Kevin Knight opening it up and seeing. It's a darkened Ring of Honor with some championship. It's a distraction. Schoolboy rollout too. Oh, nearly stole it. It's a black Ring of Honor World Television Championship.
So, when you guys would know this better, because this was obviously, this is obviously Leo's gimmick when he was in New Japan.
Not like this, I'll tell you that much.
Did he ever was he ever like this, or was he just Blackheart right away?
He was always a bad child. He wasn't Blackheart right away. The Blackheart developed over time on the independent scene. And speaking of developing, Andrade Hilo will face Brian Cage tomorrow, special start time on Collision, 8 p.m. Standard Time in singles action, looking for advantage against former Dunkas family member allies. Of course, Brian Cage started with a drill claw. But it's weird how many metamorphoses that Lio Rush has gone to. And Kevin Knight completely front up his game as Jake Doyle saves the TNT champion right now, looking to regroup on the outside.
I like what he's doing is some great character work, but I don't want
the psychological effect to your point.
Yeah, but I don't want it to, like, you gotta add, at what point do you have to add a new layer to this, right? Because didn't he look different? Didn't he have like a mask in, like a black heart mask in New Japan?
No. Right now, though, prawn like a prawn. Dope Suicida wiping out Kevin Knight.
Yeah, I don't know. I hopefully this is cool. This is very, people like to compare this being like, oh, people like this, but Danhausen, and people complain about Danhausen.
That's the Don Cox falls in his ass. There's a quiet picture full commercial on television.
This is different than a black Danhausen gimmick, but I would like with this, I'd like more layer to it. Like now add on, like I want him to go full Blackheart, right? Like I wonder how long will it take till we get to that point.
Probably when he flatlines and resuscitates himself again. And if Kevin Knight's not careful, the jet's going to crash and we're going to get a new face holding the TNT championship, covering both television championships. Wouldn't that be some crazy shit, Ash?
Yeah, no kidding, right?
I mean, mean, you're batshit crazy at times. You like the crazy nonsense. So what's been your impression of Leo Rush?
I'm liking this. It's, we've had monsters as TNT champions, but none of this variety.
Right.
Not like this.
And Leo Rush did beat Kevin Knight. Leo Rush did beat Kevin Knight in a previous life, believe it or not, folks. Back in Impact Wrestling in 2023, their only ever other one-on-one encounter. Of course, that's before Leo Rush went full Gollum mode. And again, ever since Leo Rush came back this year in this weird state of self-metamorphosis, fallen to his own demons, it seems, and he's his own exorcist, it's paid dividends for the young men all over the planet.
Yeah, it's working for him. It's working for him.
It's weird that it's working for him, though. I'm just saying.
It's amazing what happens when you give people freedom to control their destiny.
Well, that's the wrestling business somewhat, where people can actually have their own identity versus it being created for you and undermined at the end of the day. But nonetheless, Leo Rush, current Ring of Honor Television champion, after pinning Action Andretti and outlasting AR Fox, former Impact X Division, MLW, World Middleweight, House of Glory Crown Jewel champion. Previously was involved in the strongest of the fittest in a six-way scramble at House of Glory and Progress Wrestling. And everywhere he's gone, he's channeled this black heart demeanor, and it's put him on quite a winning way, including Wrestling Revolver when he beat Damian Chambers. And Kevin Knight, the one that you look up to right now, is literally looking down at Leo Rush in the worst way possible. He's been TNT champion now for 81 days. And tonight will actually mark his 8th defense of the TNT title. After outlasting Desmond Xavier, Myron Reed, People Mike Bailey, Hook, and also, of course, MJF, by the way, one person that also probably still wants a chance at MJF's AEW World Championship. And, of course, Kyle Castagnoli. But the fact now that he's got 2 psychological warfares against him. He's got Leo Rush now and Darby Allin, which he's made an enemy out of for life. So he's in all sorts of trouble here, I'm just saying.
Yeah. And, I mean, hopefully we talked about it, me and you, on another stream. Before Forbidden Door. I mean, I think you have to do Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin. I think at Redemption you have to.
As we call revenge in that case, though, Nick, I'm just saying. And Kevin Knight looking for revenge with a vicious to the backbreaker over his already compromised knee as we saw him hobbling on that leg early in this match. Now crawls the cover, hook on the far leg, back press, gets a 2.5. Continue, Nick. Seriously, though, Nick, Redemption's turning into revenge, it feels like, in some aspects.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, from what we got so far.
Bringing up the top rope. I tweet the leg. And again, you see him favoring that knee on Leo Rush. Clocking him up and over with that forearm. TNT Championship matches, by the way, folks, have a 20-minute time limit. If it goes to the time limit, he will retain. Looking for maybe that leaping Lariat, unable to execute. Roll through. Oh, man, turned sideways, inside out with that roundhouse kick. And the Blackheart right now beating Kevin Knight. Looking for Rush Hour, slingshot, springboard, DDT, bomber stunner. Now the cover, forearm, gets a 2.5. And now looking for possibly a modified front face Moonalock. Center of the ring, Kevin Knight, a world of trouble, and all of that pressure being exerted on his head and neck, drawn backwards towards the ropes, though. The reach of Kevin Knight right now being his only saving grace in this TNT Championship match. As Jake Doyle is trying to pull Kevin Knight out of harm's way again. Gotta be careful here. He might get Kevin Knight disqualified. And Leo Rush to the top rope here. Leo Rush spraying himself into Jake Doyle, who catches him. This anomaly that he's become sure is something. Look at the lawn dart Leo and sends himself face first into the ring post. Kevin Knight trying to take advantage. Step up! Forearm smash, wiping out Leo Rush. A gutsy move there by the TNT champion, who is definitely on one leg. Now springing in again, catching Leo Rush with the springboard phenomenal lariat. But again, every time that Kevin Knight flies, he favors that leg action.
Ooh.
Yeah, that might it. Like, does Leo Rush have any leg-based submission moves?
Now hold that fun inside leg. Hook him! Nearly got it there. Almost took it. Pop up. Oh, plants it. With a vicious spine buster. Great move by Kevin Knight. As far as leg captures, as far as I know, Leo Rush, he does not.
Okay.
But I don't know what the Blackheart's capable of fully. Uranagi by Kevin Knight, grounding Leo Rush, enough to retain. Kevin Knight retains the TNT Championship.
Well, he did. Injury be damned.
Yeah, but let's look at it this way. He had to ground Leo Rush without the use of his legs. Still hoisting Leo Rush as high as he can to flatline the Blackheart for 3 seconds and maintain his hold on the TNT title. And of course, Don Callis with an eye for talent. That's Kevin Knight very much. He's one of the brightest young rising stars here in AEW. And and remember what we were talking about earlier, Nick?
But knowing them, they're gonna have this freaking spring breakthrough or bash of the whatever the fuck.
Beach break.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, it's not about the title. It's about Darby Allin exacting revenge. And I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Much like the Death Riders had to deal with this man for a year. You make an enemy out of Darby Allin, you are in for a world of hell no matter how many numbers you have. Because he will keep coming forward. And Darby Allin cutting the music off. Darby saying, I think I got your attention. What are you going to do with it? I want a TNT Championship match. Oh, boy. And if you say no, what happened at Forbidden Door is going to keep happening. That's a real threat, though, to be fair. How are you going to finish it? Oh, shoot. Coming out with the mic. Want to finish this? See what Kevin Knight has to say about this. And Don Callis sees the microphone again, controlling the Don Callis family. And I was going to say yes. And again, the most hated man in the business, F. Don Callis. See what Don Callis say towards Darby. Saying Darby is a great champion, great wrestler. But last week at the pay-per-view, it's 3 days ago, with that little stunt you pulled, you almost killed this man. You crossed the line from wrestler to criminal. And the Don Callis fan does not award criminal behavior. Have you looked in the mirror?
Right? Like, bitch. Come on now.
Don Callis saying he'll never get a match with Kevin Knight, but look at the Cheshire Cat smile on Darby Allin's face. He welcomes that. I don't think Don Callis realizes what he's dealing with.
No. We all know how insane.
So now,
right.
This is what they should be doing now. This is great. Now, we got what? 4 weeks? 4 weeks to Okay, so we have
it's just smiling. Just look at that smile on Darby Allin's face.
And this is what I mean. How many weeks do we have till redemption? We got what? 2 weeks? 4 weeks?
Sunday, July 26th. As Speedball Mike Billy looks on also from the audience. You know, Speedball has also said himself a mission statement that he will not wrestle he beats every member of the Don Callis family. Kevin Knight with 2 enemies from East and West, and Darby Allin relentlessly pursuing Kevin Knight in the TNT Championship. Speaking of relentless pursuing, Chris Jericho last week Saturday on AEW Collision, as we change gears, brought Tony Schiavone in the ring and was looking to send a message to Tommaso Ciampa as he locked JD Drake in the walls of Jericho.
So we should be having, for the next 4 to 6 weeks, Darby should be making Kevin's life a living hell.
I expect him to.
To the point, like, run this match at Redemption. Don't run it at Beach Break.
Well, they're not going to run it next week, clearly. I mean, dude, it's next week. Calm down.
Good. Well, no, you know Tony. Tony will have a Twitter X live fucking feed, and then he'll get so horny with this match, and he'll be like, "Yeah, okay, you know what? Let's do it next week." No.
Oh, Jesus! Well, we know what is happening next week, but right now, Jericho's attacking Ciampa backstage and to bring him in a trash can with how personal this has gotten. Between the Psycho Killer and the Cornerstone, as people are calling him now. And now taking it out to the streets of San Diego. And security is trying to protect the future match next week for Beach Break at this point. Of course, how you restrain freaking Tommaso Ciampa. We've seen this man's track record. Oh, jeez.
I just love like how there's like just one random shopping cart.
Yeah, right? Just
Yeah, who has a shopping cart at a freaking wrestling event? Like, what you need? Well, I guess you use that to handle equipment. Is that a drill?
Yeah, yes, that was a drill.
Oh my gosh! Then Jericho fighting up for his dear life as Ciampa was looking to drill his head in. I kid you not.
Both literally and figuratively.
Well, again, what is this man going to do to him next week in front of his family in his proverbial home away from home at Beach Break? Again, security trying to restore law and order. Good luck with that. Trying to separate these two men. And Jericho out of the truck! Why not? Throw caution to the wind.
Okay.
Need more security! It's taking like 6 damn men to separate Jericho and Ciampa.
I mean, this is happening at Beach Break. I'm cool with it. Great. Should be pretty cool.
Well, one thing for sure, nothing's cooling down with these two, but to your point, next week, and we're covering it here, folks, at Beach Break, Tommaso Ciampa goes one-on-one with Jericho. Who truly is better than the other? We'll find out when the Psycho Killer takes on the best in the world at what he does. And of course, to the kind of night, we are on TBS. We will crown a brand new TBS champion, the first ever Survivor of the Fittest 6-way eliminator. Maika, Harley, Hikaru, Shida, Persephone, Kris, Statlander, Aminata, and we will breathe with the Switchblade since he returned with a revengeance at AEW Forbidden Door. But coming up next, after that very unique share of words and that moniker, John Monty teams up with Will Ospreay to take on the Swirl, Blake Christian, Lee Johnson, and tag team action. After this commercial break of television. So yeah, Darby Allin's going to chase freaking Don Callis and Kevin Knight psychologically through proverbial hell till Don Callis gives, or Kevin Knight forces Don Callis to shut the F up and let me finish this, man. It's happening at Redemption, or it's going to probably even push out further at All In, because we know that Don Callis is going to throw an oddity like Jay Doyle against Darby Allin to kill him or keep him away from the Don Callis family. This is going to go the distance during the summer, mark my words. Well, that being said, Ash, I mean, Jericho, Ciampa, good Lord Almighty.
I'm surprised they didn't have a stipulation. Like, you think like after we've been seeing that match would have like some type of like false count anywhere stipulation.
I mean, don't rule it out what just happened. And plus, it's Jericho. Who's to say they don't do some sort of beach shenanigans next week at Beach Break at that unique venue, by the way, in Clearwater, Florida? I'm expecting a whole lot more stuff to literally hit the waves in AEW Dynamite next week, besides water and fists. As right now, we only got one match official. But speaking of things that are official, for those that don't know, here at CMLL Studios, we don't just cover AEW because we love professional wrestling and all elite wrestling. We cover all sorts of fancy wrestling. So while we got a moment to breathe, and we've actually hit the 1 hour mark, I want to bring you guys up to speed. What's ahead here at CMLL Studios with this little watch-along tidbit, and we'll see you on the other side of this commercial break.
And now for a taste of things to come.
time
And as always,
if you come to any kind of a
I hear
conclusion.
this about studios and truly encompass, embrace, self, and engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, and react to all the wrestling. As we bring everybody back in, we have an etiquette going inside the Elite locker room. I'll be trying to get an answer from Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks probably talking to Kenny Omega as well. Two of the comments have fallen to the same stipulation. And Nick Jackson gambling on Kenny Omega. Matt Jackson showing concern here. Renee here trying to get the scoop. The remarkable Renee Paquette. The only one that shows the most personality in backstage interviews. Yeah, Kenny Omega reflecting, I can't challenge it again. What's left for me? Was that his first reign? He needed help. Yeah, you did quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Like Don Callis, Good Brothers, Young Bucks. It was everybody that was part of Elite Bullet Club.
People complain about like the amount of interference in bloodline matches. Oh my god, that was just as bad with Omega's first title run.
Oy, hey.
Let's call a spade here. Am I wrong?
No, you're 110% correct. Consistency. Good luck, Kenny.
I just want to point out, I had no issues with the bloodline. I had no issues with it with Kenny Omega. I get it. They're heels and they do heel things.
Yeah, but at one point, a heel needs to actually prove their value, like Fekla did this past Sunday. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
let's talk about that shit. Time for a tag team exhibition after Jon Moxley basically passed the torch of Death Ground to Will Ospreay in literally welcoming him to join this ride or die pact as a Death Rider, bruv. As of course, Will Ospreay is officially now going all in to Wembley Stand, this year's Owen Hart Foundation tournament winner. Beating Swerve Strickland in one of the damnedest matches of lethal blade proportions, where both men put their own lives on the line. As Will Ospreay last year was looking for his ascension, and it got derailed last year in the tournament in the finals.
Yeah, it was a crazy good match. Just like how last Forbidden Door was a also crazy good match. I hate being this person, but I don't get me wrong. Do I enjoy Will Ospreay's matches? I do, but I just don't feel anything coming out of him. Like,
well, Will Ospreay hasn't felt anything coming out of his body for the better part of 6 months.
Yeah.
Nothing out of them in general, Ash, or nothing out of them since his return, because it's pretty much been suspected that he was going to All In to win the title.
It's a combination of both. Because I felt that way about Ospreay when I was watching him in New Japan as well.
Okay, because I would understand if it was the latter, the fact that everyone pretty much figured even before the Owen was announced that he was going to win the Owen to go to All In. Mm-hmm. So I would understand that. That's why I had to ask if it was before that or since the Owen plan pretty much preconceived.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I just needed that clarification, yeah.
No, it's all good. I mean, you consider the evolution of the Aerial Assassin, Commonwealth Kingpin, founded United Empire, became All Elite. Aerial Assassin, of course, reborn. And then literally broke his neck. We need double fusion neck surgery. And at the point was literally wrestling like he was on midlife crisis, not a deadline of his own life. And Jon Moxley bringing him literally with a second chance to immortality here. There's a lot going on for the bro, but it's one of those things where how you connect with his journey more so versus what you see with him in ring, in wrestling. And Jon Moxley, of course, who's led this Death Rider mission statement, again, against the world, still the Continental Champion, after defeating Bandito in a very brutal game match as the Most Wanted, caught his shot, but failed to hit the mark as another man fell short against Jon Moxley when it came to the Continental Championship as he forced Bandito to pass out. But still, combat forges respect between Bandito and Jon Moxley, continues to push the emblem that is AEW, the hardest working in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, held this title since World's End last year in December when he took it off Kazuchika Okada at the expense of Protostar Kyle Fletcher, winning both those matches in a single night. And of course, outlasting Will Ospreay's revenge and bringing the bruv back to new life, welcoming him to train with the Death Riders. There was a key moment in that match this Sunday as when Will Ospreay was first kicked and he saw Jon Moxley. You would have thought he was dead there. I think something clicked. I think something was literally ignited. Where at the point we saw Will Ospreay will himself back up and literally clock swerve and went with a triple effect of head impacts with the Death Rider paradigm shift and the Tiger Driver that led him to victory. If it wasn't for that moment with Jon Moxley and the Death Riders willing Will Ospreay on, I think the decision very well could have been very different.
Yeah, it probably would have been swerve. Like if it makes you think, like, would Ospreay would have done the Tiger Driver if the Death Riders weren't there?
Well, may never know, but right now I see the swirl getting the better of Jon Moxley with a chop up from behind. Of course, Blake Christian previously challenged Bandito for the World Championship at Supercard of Honor, losing effort. Lee Johnson looking to take his next big shot again. Now underneath the tutelage of the Foundation, the franchise Ring of Honor, of course, Jay Lethal, and Lee Johnson. We just recently saw him face Milton Takeshita for the AEW International Championship, as both these men are still looking for gold in AEW. And Jon Moxley teeing up here against Vanilla Baby. Elbows off. Nice chop to Lee Johnson to the Nightmare Factory, and of course Blake Christian, former GCW champion. Monkey foot into a clothesline. Nice combination of offense there by the swirl. Which goes to show that Chuck and Vanilla still can actually work together. And Jon Moxley, former record-setting four-time AEW World Champion, as I said, has been Continental Champion now since December. Tag made to Will Ospreay. And, of course, one of Will Ospreay's return matches here in the Bygone Life was against Blake Christian. What man? Pop up, slapjack, facebuster of sorts. And right now, for only Johnson, the floor average whip. And again, Will Ospreay's biggest shot in his career awaits next month in his own home country. Will Ospreay doesn't have enough reason to be fired up here. Drawing out this great crowd's energy over the top at the plunger. Crossbody wiping out the swirl in fine fashion.
I think for me, Will Ospreay is like a nice bowl of macaroni and cheese. It's good once in a while, but once you eat it too much, you get sick of it, and that's probably why I am Ospreay.
The swirl. Right now, the swirl right by his side. Well, you know, there's also that thing of consuming too much in your appetite. And again, I think Will Ospreay was on the verge of doing that before Jon Moxley actually gave him that chance to train with the Death Riders or take revenge. The point Mark Davis was about to permanently injure him, possibly. Again, double fusion neck surgery. He'll never be the same again. Time made to Jon Moxley. As we go to commercial break, as the Bruv and the Death Rider look to rise tonight. Stay tuned and see if it happens here on Dynamite with Wrestler Quiet picture-in-picture full commercial on television. Good Lord. It's also one of those things that Jon Moxley said. The only thing that he expects is that we follow this to the end. Is the end truly as literally cut and dry as many are anticipating? Because I don't. Because at the end of the day, we've seen Will Ospreay and MJF at Wembley. We have not seen Ospreay and Kenny Omega at Wembley. We have also not seen Kenny Omega Will Ospreay for the AEW World Championship. On that side of the coin, though, we also haven't seen MJF versus Will Ospreay for the AEW World Championship. Well, Andrade versus Will Ospreay for the AEW World Championship. And I know that Jon Moxley is going to be at the Bruv's influential side this entire ride to August 30th. There's no denying that.
You think it's possible that we might get a triple threat at All In between Ospreay, MJF, and Omega?
Considering MJF has literally been able to defeat both men in singles action, what does it take to literally beat who seems to be the most unbeatable man in professional wrestling in his own opinion? And of course, Jon Moxley, also to that point, we talked about again, is there anybody that can take the Continental Championship off of him?
So I was going to, I mean, I said it on the Forbidden Door review, the prediction. I think you have to go a triple threat. I just think that that's a thing you need to, but the question is, who would be, like, I think, yeah, it'd be,
How you know? How you know?
I hope I know. I could see it being Omega and MJF and Will. I could see that being one.
And Omega still has to give his answer, by the way, on MJF's double deal before the night's out. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way it's looking, it looks like he. I mean, you can kind of read between the lines. He's not gonna not say no. So
yeah, but he also has to understand the consequences of what could happen. Though, what is a wrestler in this business that can't even try and be the champion of their own company, even if they've already done it? Again, period. And Hangman Page did it on his own word and merit. MJF is literally making a deal that this can happen. Just saying.
Well, hopefully, I mean, this is a perfect time. I mean, with this stipulation, do you write Hangman back into AEW television, right? Because this would be a great way to do that. So
we haven't seen him since Revolution after MJF probably put the noose around his neck and defeated him in that Texas death match, to your point. Crowd trying to wheel John Moxley back in here right now. His things might look a little bit on the lopside here against the Death Rider and the Bruv. And Blake Christian now coming into play. Sent up and over. Lands on the apron. Dudley Johnson running with the boot. Catching Osprey with a spear. And the swirl right now in perfect cohesion with the Death Rider at their mercy. Double stomps. Piccoli driver. Rolling Divide driver. Here's the cover to Lee Johnson. Just been the Continental Champion. 2 count only.
I was there for Revolution.
Revolution was a good show.
I was saying, JJ had his first AEW All Elite Pay-Per-View experience live. Damn it, lucky damn it, but I'm glad they had a great time.
Yeah, being able to say I went to 2 events, both in Toronto, and then one with the wife and one without the missus, was pretty great. Can't wait to go to my next one, hopefully next year.
Yeah, we'll see what next year brings when it comes to the preferred professions.
Well, no, actually, I won't lie to you guys. I mean, if they do announce Wrestle Dream for Toronto,
I wouldn't blame you.
I might have to cash in some birthday wishes.
And right now, Del Monte trying to cash it against the Swerve with these chops, and Jay Lethal getting involved just outside Rick vision. Jay, you might want to turn around. And Maria Shafir face to face with Jay Lethal, and that was awesome. Maria Shafir is like the one woman in this business that doesn't give an F what anybody thinks. And if you try and instigate a different business, she'll just kick your ass. I love it. The monster, oh God, man, this fan wiped out. Freaking Lee Johnson with a vicious lariat. And Will Ospreay prime to ready. There's the tag to the Bruv. Will Ospreay now engaged in this match. And I believe that Will Ospreay is legal with Lee Johnson. And right now, 2-for-1 special against the Swirl. John Moxley has been Continental Champion, by the way, for 187 days. 6 successful defenses currently in his run.
I know I don't want to, I want things to let it play out. I really hope when they crown Will at All In, because I'm still
standing close to Moto cover 2 count only. How the hell does he do that?
That they have a plan for this after that, because Tony is notorious. In my opinion, the way that he doesn't do a good job of booking his baby faces in the best way possible.
That's
true. Hopefully there is a plan for Will when and if he becomes champion at Wembley Stadium. I hope there's a plan in place.
And right now, so when it's match, catching Blake Christian off the springboard and an Oz cutter.
Exactly, because just like with other previous baby, because he's with the previous babyface championship, Hangman being a good example of the chase was more thrilling than the capture, because that whole story of Hangman beating Omega for the championship was beautifully done. What happened afterwards is a completely different story.
Well,
Yeah.
let's focus on the now versus the what if, because what we just saw so far, Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley working extremely well. You see Will Ospreay donning that Death Rider logo on his tights as he is in full pursuit now of the AEW World Championship. Long term be damned, live in the moment now and then see what happens. And for Will Ospreay, it's nothing but smiles knowing that he is going all in to Wembley Stadium. Good time match, nice finishing combination sequence there, and hopefully Jay Lethal learns not to mess with the Death Riders when Marina Shafir's at ringside. We got a moment to breathe as, of course, we are watching AEW Dynamite and talking about foresight of the AEW Championship with the Canadian Connection. That might as well be a podcast at this point based on the way these two brains operate. But nonetheless, I'm happy to be here on Canada Day with these two Canucks and their analysis and sometimes over-analysis of the professional wrestling business. Nonetheless, Will Ospreay, again, nothing but smiles here, elevating himself forward towards being the ace of AEW. As, of course, we go backstage to two other men that are trying to elevate their game in the AEW Tag Division. As we, of course, saw Adam Copeland and Christian Cage retain the AEW Tag Champions with some unique assistance. As Christian Cage, of course, still in his angry father-type look with arms crossed. Same what the hell is the deal with Jay White? Good question. You know, me a favor. Wait, when did Jay White owe Cope a favor?
Oh, when he was challenging Moxley for the title.
Ah, yeah, that's right. And apparently, Christian Cage still didn't even say goodbye. Come on, nothing weird of Lexi there.
Well, hopefully we're gonna. There he is.
Well, let's bring with the Switchman and find out more about why he came Sunday night. Jay White's back in AEW. Here we go. Pat Sunday getting revenge, long overdue revenge against the man that excommunicated him from Bullet Club as well as New Japan. Switchblade Jay White with the Bang Bang Gang in full arsenal. The Guns, Austin and Colton Gunn, Rock Hard, Juice Robinson, and of course the newest member to arrive on the scene, Inedible Ace Austin, who of course was formerly part of Jay White's Bullet Club. And of course, when you're part of Bullet Club, you're part of Bullet Club for life. And you gotta imagine, Ash, that his return certainly has implications on not only the Dog's chances on winning championships, but his own pursuit in the AEW World Championship.
Yeah, because Jay White and David Finlay have some unfinished business with each other.
Yeah, about to say the score is 1-1 when it comes to that remark. And funny enough, Ash, like I said, he was betrayed by David Finlay, who executed again right here in California.
When the War Dogs took over Bullet Club, like they got rid of everyone. Jay White, El Phantasmo, the Girls of Destiny.
Accurate.
That became just the four of them.
They're all Weapon and New Japan Savage.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd chanting, welcome back to Jay White. Indeed, welcome back to the Switchblade. Been far too damn long. A man that has always said anything that happens is because of me, because I made it happen. You're welcome. 459. 459 days it's been since we've seen this. Guns up for the gold members! Seems a poetic way to welcome himself back. Guns up over the building. Although, again, he also does a pinfall win against Jon Moxley. He could very well be a challenger towards Jon Moxley's Continental Championship. A man Jon Moxley has yet to beat in singles action.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
A lot of things could change. Yeah, it's almost like the Death Rider has become a comfort in AEW to see wrestle. Oof. Now you're going to talk about Billy. Man. It's a hell of a metaphor line there for his faction. Tell me JY's not fired up, Ash.
Oh, he's definitely happy to be back.
Yeah, literally just ran down the entire arsenal there of ammunition. Did somebody let the dogs out? Yeah, yeah. I got a question. Who let the dogs? We're gonna bomb that reference. I haven't heard that song since Nickelodeon. Of course, we're in the Cluck Connors. Gabrielle Kidd. And David Finley Jr. Ooh. With the junior out there. Yep, right there in California. NJPW JoJo, led by Katsura Shibata. Naturally gifted talent wrestler. Yeah, he was born in this business. Fourth generations of Finleys. Yeah. Damn!
Right?
Level, baby, bitch boy. Shots fired. Pun intended.
Yeah.
But also, is he wrong?
No, not at all.
That was the whole.
No,
that was the whole thing about David Finley starting his own faction with the War Dogs, building from dirt up. We got a double baby chant, folks.
Jesus.
They should work on that in WWE.
I mean, there's Nepo babies everywhere, let's be real. Like, every company has their fair share of Nepo babies.
Yeah, but the big two have their candidate A, candidate B, candidate C, candidate D. This is an AEW versus New Japan ring. Been there for 4 months. And since has lingered far too long. Yeah, we're definitely getting a faction war here.
Oh, hell yeah, let's go.
I'm for it. The Cavs professional right there it is. I missed that word. This is still my damn era. Welcome back to the era of the Switchblade, folks. If you ain't down with that, myself and San Diego and the gang has 2 words for you. Guns up. But the best weapon is finally back in the Bang Bang gang, and we are in full swing as we are all breathing with the Switchblade. And the dolls and all of AEW have been put on notice. So we are in for a wild ride with the Catalyst back at the forefront of this era. And apparently, speaking of people with a hell of a moxie, let's go ahead and hear from Shane Taylor and the Infantry and Lee Moriarty, who are just coming off a war against the Death Riders in Cincinnati. Apparently, they might have a message for the Bang Bang gang since Jay White just arrived. Oh, a little warm-up, it looks like, for the Bang Bang gang against Shane Taylor Promotions. Shane Taylor Promotions with a call-out to all 4 of them. With that being said, let's get down to serious business because it is now time to crown a brand new TBS champion. Again, folks, this is the first ever Survival of the Fittest, a Ring of Honor staple. This is the 6-way eliminator match. Eliminations occur via pinfall or submission, and the last woman left will be the brand new TBS champion. Because that's where it's at, damn it! That's Kris Statlander and everybody here qualified for this opportunity tonight. Kris Statlander, the only woman in this entire field to previously hold the TBS championship after being that bitch Jade Cargill and also holding it for a great run before Julia Hart was able to seize the title without pinning Kris Statlander in the process. The first woman, by the way, to hold both the AEW Women's World and TBS championships, and she qualified for this match beating Mina Shirakawa on Collision. As Kris Statlander might literally be the most dangerous threat tonight in the Survival of the Fittest. But maybe not the strongest, as for the first time ever, we welcome Maika to AEW Dynamite, one of the strongest competitors channeling Japanese traditions like Hiroki Goto, former World of Stardom champion and prior leader of Empress Nexus Venus, who earned her opportunity tonight, beating Sky Blue in a qualifying match this past Sunday at Forbidden Door. And Maika and Kris Statlander have never met each other in a ring. I want this one-on-one match. Now you can learn more about Stardom. Subscribe today to Stardom Wonder Ring. And of course, JJ's an idiot. And also you can watch Maika in the 5-Star Grand Prix, the round-robin tournament of Stardom that defines who will challenge for the red belt, the World of Stardom Championship. As JJ always feels my proverbial verbal wrath, Harley Cameron looks to make us feel the wrath as she looks to pursue her first ever singles title. In the title that is on the line tonight, on behalf of her fallen friend, Willow Nightingale, as she qualified, beating Marina Shafir, looking for the TBS Championship for the first time. She's gone a long way since we've seen her arrive on the scene here in AEW, Ash.
Mm-hmm.
But so
Yeah,
has
she's
this.
improved quite a bit.
And so has this goddess of the underworld, Persephone, seeing clear as day, current CMLL Women's World Champion, who qualified, beating Julia Hart, the woman that misdid her and cost her a while back in a tag match alongside Thunder Rosa. And of course, Persephone just signed AEW this year, dual contracted to AEW and CMLL, and is very familiar with several of these women. I feel like my friend King right now is about to pass out. He's got a match with Persephone and the one of one, born out of Ghana, Queen Aminata, who qualified, beating the Ring of Honor Television Championship, Red Velvet, in the Survival of the Fittest qualifier. And of course, the Queen has been gracing the AEW stage for the better part of the last year and a half, defining a rivalry against the likes of Jamie Hayter and Sky Blue, but is still looking for her first title in AEW. And of course, several of these women have actually had previous opportunities for the TBS title, including against Willow Nightingale. Queen Aminata and Persephone are both part of that equation. And also is this woman, the Shining Samurai Hikaru Shida, who beat the real deal Zeta Steel to qualify tonight, debuting a new submission hold, and is of course a previous AEW Women's World Champion. And of course, as we've seen Hikaru Shida on this comeback, channel a more darker side of her Bushido, where she tried to instigate alongside Kris Statlander in season the AEW Women's World Tag Team titles, and it all fell apart at Double or Nothing as Statlander got the better of Shida in a lights-out Philly street fight with the help of Harley Cameron, putting Shida behind her. Again, folks, these 6 women are challenging in a 6-way eliminator for the TBS Championship. Kris Statlander, the only one to previously held this title. Hikaru Shida could join Kris Statlander in making that accomplishment of holding both the AEW Women's World and TBS Championship. Bell rings, we're underway. Get ready for a 6-woman melee. Whoa, jeez. And of course, Shida is also trying to take advantage of the field, attacking, of course, many of these competitors from behind. So, Ash, what do you think necessarily is the best one to try and eliminate first here? Kris Statlander, who's already had the accomplishment. Hikaru Shida is trying to instigate all these women. Harley Cameron, due to the level of inexperience in general in this business. What's your outlook here?
Like, if you want to become like the champ for the first time, you're better off like trying to like whittle down the threats. Like take out like the big powerhouses we have here. There's Persephone, who's like freaking strong. You got a Statlander. Those are the two you got to go after.
Persephone right now taking advantage of the field, and Hikaru Shida up under the eye. Trying to catch Persephone off guard. Inside cradle, cover two, and nearly got our first elimination there. And we just started hot and fast and furious here. Kris Statlander, Persephone, Hikaru Shida, everyone pulling out the heavy hits early. Freaking brain drain, headbutt, Queen Aminata. Currently have 2 men inside the ring. Of course, anyone can be involved at any time. There are no tags here. This match is defined Ring of Honor primarily for the Ring of Honor Television Championship in its longevity of Ring of Honor history. And right now, Harley Cameron and Persephone working together. Rising knee strike, clothesline, taking down Shida. Harley Cameron right now. Whoa! Sidestep, low bridge. And there goes Kris Statlander. Again, everyone for themselves, but very much could see unique alliances involved in this matchup. Standing weights like exchange, high kick by Harley Cameron. And Maika, hooked by Persephone, the snapmare, and Harley Cameron on the move. Runs in. Shining Wizard, and right now Harley Cameron, Persephone controlling the field, and the only two left in the ring. Big smile by both of these great, young, promising athletes. And we got Queen Aminata back in the fray now. Let's see, right now we got a double team here. Bat drop and another strike there by Harley Cameron. So far, Harley Cameron Persephone isolating the ring and controlling everybody else is playing to, I think, both of their benefits here. But eventually, those two are going to have to collide with each other.
Yeah.
And Harley Cameron already making history as part of the first ever AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions alongside Willow Nightingale in winning that tournament. Of course, at the expense of Tamatoy Stormy Shirakawa. And Harley Cameron, oh, man, Razor's Edge, Crucifix, Bomb, too. Harley Cameron eliminated by Persephone.
Like you were saying, these alliances don't last very long.
Well, damn.
Harley Cameron out, took her eyes off the prize. Kris Statlander kind of surprised with that, though. Checking on Harley Cameron. It goes back to that frenzy those two have. Persephone doesn't give a damn, though. Roll by Kris Statlander. It's a 1 count. Statlander almost caught off guard there, trying to instigate the Cosmic Killer. Not a smart move, Persephone. Hoisted up. Big epic slam by Kris Statlander. As this match continues, the restaurant client picture-in-picture of programs make on Max F Television. I mean, again, like I said, you take your eyes off one person, you can find yourself caught at any time. And Harley Cameron caught too much up in the moment. Persephone capitalized. Razor's Edge bomb, and that was it. Bye-bye, Harley.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to be one of the first two out, so I mean...
I thought she was going to be one of the last ones involved.
No way. I think the first
She
two
was
that
my
were going to
pick to win it all.
Yeah, I remember that, JJ, as I talked to producer man and the Greeners. We talked about this prior, as again, like I said, the only one right now that can make even more history truly is Kris Statlander becoming a 2-time TBS champion.
I mean, my heart says Queen Aminata, because I feel like she's deserved it. Make somebody a star with this title, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
She's never held any singles titles. Let Queen Aminata go for it. Let's see what she kind of can do. But I mean, out of all these people, what's the best match that you're gonna get? I would say give it to Stat. You know what?
Statlander is the constant worker, right? Proverbial locker room leader, in my opinion, worldwide. Former Pro Wrestling Eve international champion from Yamashita, of course, took that from her. So again, she's always had that pedigree, but I can see Statlander holding this again. So I mean, I can see it, Nick.
I'm gonna play the. I know we're not on Simply Predicting, but I'm gonna play the Emmanuel card. I gotta say Stat wins this, and at All In, we're gonna get somehow, some way, we're gonna get Stat versus Britt Baker. That's it.
Well, considering
Stop trying to make Britt Baker happen. It's like fetch, Nick. It's never going to happen.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna humor it because the last match Kris Statlander had before she went out here was against Britt Baker, DMD, and it was over the TBS Championship.
I said it with Jay White, and it happened.
You were right. You were right about Jay White. You were absolutely right.
So if I say it long enough and hard, it'll happen. Yeah.
Nick is trying to use the power of chaos magic. He's trying to wield it into existence.
The proverbial proverb, never say never.
I mean, like I said, I'd love for Queen Aminata to win it. make it a mid-card title for a reason. Give Queen Aminata a chance to run with it and see kind of how she does. I don't want to see Shida winning it. Good God, I don't want to see Maika win it.
Maika, respect her name.
Maika, sorry, I don't want to see her winning it at all. She shouldn't even be in this match.
For all we know, she's just on a small excursion. We are back here tonight, and to your point right now, Kris Statlander and Maika are working together against Persephone. The last three powerhouses left in this match. Double shoulder block here. And clearly, you're looking towards history or you're looking towards opportunity. And I respect that, Nick. And this is a huge opportunity right now for Kris Statlander to square up against one of Stardom's strongest in Maika. Maika, of course, has been heavily involved in Stardom as part of Donna Del Mundo Women Group Play, and then branched out onto her own, former World of Stardom champion. Oh, and there's that candlestick. And again, no disqualification.
To your point, though, Noah, yeah, okay, great. You can be on excursion. If we're gonna do that, at least if you're on an excursion, you should not be sniffing any titles. You're here on an excursion, not to come in and win championships.
Well, what if things have happened, and this being a Ring of Honor staple, I can tell you countless times where Stardom talent has held championships from Ring of Honor. And at times it was a television title or it was the world title. Mayu Iwatani held the Women of Honor championship for a period of time at the expense of the gatekeeper, Kelly Klein. We've seen in CMLL the Ring of Honor television championship won by freaking Blue Panther or the Atlantis Jr., excuse me. So again, weirder things have happened, Nick, so don't count Maika out. That's all I'm saying. As Maika right now trapped in the ankle lock by Hikaru Shida, sidestep and stun gun across the second rope. Maika's had a rough start this year with the dismissal of her faction. Empress Nexus Venus, and Statlander seizes Shida's kendo stick, number 70. Pull Statlander down hard. Fates first off the apron by that stick. Kris Statlander and Maika and Shida. Well, the referee coming into play. Sidestep. Watch out, Aubrey. And now the schoolgirl roll up by Shida. Deep roll up with the bridge. 2, and Maika eliminated by Shida.
Thank goodness.
That's how you really feel, Nick.
It was stupid for her to be even in this match. Should have been Thunder Rosa. Should have been Sky Blue. Fuck, give me Julia Hart.
And woulda, coulda, shoulda. And to your surprise, so far we have not seen the Triangle Madness try to influence the decision here.
Should have been Nina.
Right now we have Queen Aminata versus Hikaru Shida. Right now, Queen Aminata, as I said, looking for her first title here in AEW. And again, next week we'll be covering Beach Break, folks. Tommaso Ciampa, one-on-one with Jericho. And Schoolgirl roll up on Queen Aminata. And we also now will have Kadoza Takeshita defending the AEW National Championship against Kyle Fletcher after their fallout in Death's Door with that blue thunderbolt at the apron for the table. Cover 2 count only. And we also have a women's casino gauntlet match for a chance at Fecla's AEW Women's World Championship at Redemption. And Fecla's being everybody in the roster. That's how you definitely define somebody, I guess, when she's being everybody. I'm for it. And right now, Kris Statlander trying to get Queen Aminata off the top of Hikaru Shida, though. We're going to meet the Queen at the high-risk district. And I can see Nick right now probably having an aneurysm, but he'll survive.
So stupid. So dumb.
Grizzly Magnum, well, your opinion versus everyone else. Double stop as Shida rolls inside, and you're welcome to it. Oh, man, what a knee. And Queen Aminata was not looking forward to that knee. And we still have yet to hear Kenny Omega announce his decision on that Devil's Deal. Vicious brain-drain headbutt by Aminata to Shida, and off with her head. And that might be it for the Shining Samurai for 70 from the back door. Did roll up on Queen Aminata, and Queen Aminata eliminated. Second elimination for Persephone. And we are down to half the field. Persephone, Shida, and Kris Statlander.
We got
Persephone right now, the smartest competitor in this match.
We got a former champion, two former women's champion, and does Persephone currently have a title?
CMLL Women's World Championship. Will Statlander once again be the face of TBS T2 What's Required Picture-in-Picture or full commercial on Max F Television? I'm looking forward to this slugfest. Give me all this. Give me all of this every day. More Statlander, more Persephone. Yes, please. And the fact that Persephone and Statlander have never faced each other prior to this, I find very interesting considering the longevity of history that Statlander has had in AEW, facing pretty much everybody that's been on the roster. Persephone, one of the few women that Statlander has yet to go one-on-one with.
Oh, really? Wow. Huh.
A little bit of food for thought for you folks right there. As Persephone, of course, has been the CMLL Women's World Champion now for 118 days with 3 successful defenses against Tessa Blanchard, Billy Starks, and Lacey Lane. Yes, you heard me right. She defended that title successfully against Tessa Blanchard in CMLL. As Tessa Blanchard chose Nikki Cole over TNA because of family. What a trope in this business. Give me a break. 70, by the way, has only been involved in this business, by the way, for 9 years. So still very young in her career at 24 years of age.
So I think we know who the women's match is at Redemption.
How you know?
Oh, I know. Oh, we
How
know.
you know?
Oh,
How you
we
know? How you know?
We pay attention to the show. It's written fucking, especially coming out of Forbidden Door, this shit is now written in the stars.
You think we're getting Stat versus Willow?
No, yeah, we're getting. Well, I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. No. I'm calling it now. We're getting Willow versus. This is how I'm telling you. This is how it's going down.
Everyone timestamp this so Nick can actually throw if he's right next week. Go ahead, Nick, before we get back to the match. Say it now, and for everyone, please.
Willow's coming back. She's coming back next week in this fucking gauntlet. It's gonna be Willow versus Tekla at the fucking pay-per-view, and then Willow's gonna win the world championship, and she's gonna have a month-long reign because it's gonna be Willow versus Mercedes at All In. It's fucking written in the stars.
It's written in the stars.
It's already there, dude. It's
what did I tell you before the stream, Noah, that was being talked about in Spaces? Who versus who?
Well, again, talk is cheap unless it's actual reality, but I hear it from all of you.
But it is. But the worst part about it is reality. Because
no, it's not until it actually happens. Nothing is actuality, period, unless it happens. Seeing is believing.
The worst part about it is me and Nick are on the same page as you were.
Hey, look, you can share a brand with a Canadian.
Listen. I understand it. When you see it, we'll see it when we see it. I understand that. But you don't air a vignette for Willow on a Forbidden Door pay-per-view showing us her working out. And I'm sorry, dirt sheets are a thing nowadays. And the dirt sheets have already reported that Willow's coming back.
Yeah, I don't acknowledge those. And right now I acknowledge that this match has come back. Blue Thunder Bomb! Cover! 2! We have attention! Gets a 2 count.
Why did you even count?
No.
Even Ash is in on the gimmick, Noah.
Oh, shut the fuck up, all of you. And right
now,
Kris
we're telling lies.
High kick, capturing the leg. Leg captured suplex with a bridge by 70 to eliminate Kris Statlander. 2 count only. Beautiful bridge there. Very close. Right up on the toes. Getting a 2.5 on the former TBS and AEW Women's World Champion. Now for 70, Kris Statlander on the move. Watch out, Bubba climb out of the ring. Shida tries to get back. Brett presses the far leg with Persephone. Kick out at 2. Now Shida trying to cover Statlander. Cover 2 and 2 counts. Like a thief in the night trying to eliminate both at the same time.
Oh, man. I don't like this.
Jaw-jacking. Persephone right now. 3 women right now here trying to literally jockey charge jaw here. And Kris Statlander lining up both Persephone and Shida's chest on the move. Double kick, though. And Shida and Persephone, to my point, might eliminate the biggest threat here if they can work together. Irish whip. Statlander out of the corner. Springing back elbow strike to get both down here. And Statlander is where it's at right now. Hoisting up Persephone, possibly for the Mr. No-Co Driver. Cover 2 and Persephone.
Sorry, I have to bitch about this.
Get on your soapbox before I shut you off real quick, especially during a women's match of all things, Nick. I'm warning you.
No, it has something to do. It's with the gauntlet match. I mean,
that's next week. Focus on now. Statlander hoisting up Persephone. You could gripe about next week after this. Moving forward, Saturday Night Fever in the row for Persephone sits in the cover. Kris Statlander reversal sits in the cover. Persephone eliminated.
I got a
We're
great bet
down
at the
to
commercial break.
Shida and Statlander. And now it comes down to the two former AEW Women's World Champions. Persephone can't believe it. Coming a deep roll-up here. That's going to become the two-time face of TBS. Shida looking for her first, and these two picking up where they left off in Philly. Pele kick, wiping out Shida. Oh! Buzzsaw kick by Shida. Clocking Statlander. Looking to hoist her up, pausing for the Falcon. Arrow! Plants her down as a done the deal. No! Narrowly pinning Statlander here.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Now, Statlander and Shida once again determining the TBS championship here tonight. Of course, both these women, former victims of Little Nightingale, but also have won Little Nightingale before. And Shida, desperate for gold, seizing the TBS title. The curse about holding something that you haven't coveted yet could be your downfall here. That's all the sports itself. Looking at gold, swinging a miss, and Statlander, big kick, swings the title away. And now Shida in position as Statlander's got her clutch, grabbing the leg. Shida slipping out on the back door. Roll for victory, roll, cover two. Statlander again, reversal, two. And Shida again, deep roll up, two. Rolling through, holding on, picking the ankle. Ankle lock submission hold in play. And of course, Statlander on injury reserve over 600 days on those knees, crawling her way for the ropes, trying to force the escape. And of course, Statlander knows that doesn't matter as there are no ropers. Oh, Persephone with the title to the side of the head, and Statlander might be out. Because Shida taking advantage here. Statlander might literally be incapacitated here, and Shida with the hook, and that is it. Here comes Shida, the new TBS champion. Well, give a major assist to that freaking envious goddess that hit and run with the side of the head. Statlander literally dropped. And Hikaru Shida is the new face of TBS, now adding to Kris Statlander's accolades as the only other woman to hold both the AEW Women's World and TBS Championship. That belt is Shida. Number 7 of those saying you owe me now, and very well might as we go backstage to Kenny Omega, who's had a lot of food for thought. Will he make a deal with the devil? Kenny Omega announces his decision next on this conclusion of Dynamite. After this commercial break, will the cleaner be able to rise again, or will he fall to this decision? Stay tuned. Full commercial break, SLF television. Well, I'm actually happy about that because, one, Hikaru Shida, good for her. She finally accomplished something in her return. 2, Persephone now has a new enemy. Kris Statlander also has a new enemy. Like I said, first time ever, those two will face one-on-one, most likely because if you piss off Statlander, there's going to be hell to pay. I'm looking forward to these two bitches waging war. If not, Tuesday next week.
I was about to say, do you think that sets up a match for Arena Mexico? Stat versus Persephone?
I can definitely see that. Honestly, I can see it being for the CMLL Women's World Championship because Kris Statlander will want another accolade, and I can see her also redefining the CMLL Women's landscape. She did it in Pro Wrestling Eve. She's done it here in AEW. Why not? Like I said, Kris Statlander, she's a world bender, and she's proven it since being part of All Elite Wrestling. I'm all for it.
I would agree with you if Arena Mexico was sooner, but it's not. So I'm going to say no.
Oh, when is Arena Mexico?
It's August 5th.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was in July.
No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's so many people. It's hard to keep track of when is which one is when.
Well, that's why I keep up with the stuff that matters, or I just keep up with all the dates and be like, hey, this is here. This is here. So I always got you. And by the way, I also want to just acknowledge the 100 of you that are tuning in right now across all feeds of Cinema Studios. Thank you so much. It's been a fun coverage tonight of AEW Dynamite. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. And again, stay tuned for everything here at the Cinema Studios when it comes to all watch long events for all premium specials, TV shows, specials, PLDs, premieres across all things professional wrestling. And now, Nick, you can instigate on your soapbox about next week again and this Gauntlet match, because there's only one thing left to do with another Canadian on our screen. Short of this commercial break. Please continue.
It's fucking dumb. It's dumb.
And
this.
How you know?
How you know?
How you know? How you know?
How you know?
How you know? I love getting Nick's takes. I always appreciate it.
Because this is why we can never have nice things in the world. This guy, like this, and this is my worry, kind of talking about a little bit about Forbidden Door. By the way, go watch our stream that we did.
Cheap plug.
Yep, cheap plug. I am scared with Tony introducing new concepts because this fucking guy is just gonna run it into the ground. Why are we having a fucking? You're telling me you couldn't.
Nick, we haven't had a women's casino gauntlet match since last year at All In. What more do you want?
Because now you're gonna do one next week, and then you're gonna do one probably. If we're gonna probably have by the end of the year, we're gonna probably have 3 casino gauntlets in like the same fucking.
I don't see that happening, especially with the women's division. I don't see that happening.
But
maybe one more.
One too many. You should be leaving. You should be leaving the casino gauntlet matches for All In. Those should be All In matches. We should not be having those anywhere else but All In. You're telling
do
me,
a casino battle royal instead.
no, man. Give us fucking week-to-week television.
Well, anyway, we got an 8-man tag tomorrow night as Adam Coleman teams up with the Bang Bang Gang, the Guns, NJ White against Shinto Promotions, and the Death Riders will take on Shingo Takagi and Drew Maloney of Unbound Company on a special edition of First Night Collision, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Rena at freaking Stardom will take on Athena, and the winner of that will get the #1 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match next week at Beach Break. We will also see the man in action, Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, Bishop Khan and Toa Leona on a stat edition. And we also will see for the second spot, Julia Hargo one-on-one with Maya World for the Casino Gauntlet, #2 spot, taking place next week at Beach Break, where again the winner will challenge Fekla for the AEW Women's World Championship at Redemption. And also you want Mina, you're going to get her. Here's your account Thunder Rosa will be in action, whether as singles or a tag team. Stay tuned. And also, based on what we saw earlier, Speedball My Billy will be in action alongside Mystical and Bandito against the Rascals in a great trios match. And we also will see the Pro Star Kyle Fletcher go one-on-one with ELP ahead of Physical Notes Takeshka to try and bring the AEW National Championship back home to the Don Callis family at Beach Break. And speaking of Don Callis family, we saw Brian Cage exact revenge with half of Don Callis. He will now get payback at the hands of Andrade El Ilo. How you know? Because that's officially booked tomorrow. And speaking of Beach Break, besides the Women's Casino Gauntlet match, as I said, next week, the Alpha Knows the Catch Guy looks to put away the Protostar once for all, defending the gold against Kyle Fletcher. And to Nick's joy, the Women's Casino Gauntlet match for the first time this year will determine the next challenger for the AEW Women's World Championship at Redemption. And we saw earlier Jericho and Ciampa cannot wait to get their hands on each other before they head to Clearwater, Florida. All this and so much more ahead in the upcoming week on All Elite Wrestling. But before we get there, it's time for Kenny Omega to give us a decision ahead of what's next for the cleaner.
JJ, if you're listening, do you know of a general contractor that we can use to like bolt in a door and like put cement on it and just like caution tape and like do not open?
Music.
Sure, I have a closet.
No.
Interesting. Well, Osprey cutting off the music and talking to Kenny Omega. This is a good idea. Well, Osprey wondered if Kenny Omega actually believes in himself. Interesting question.
The irony of who's that coming out of? Okay, sure, well, sure.
And like I said, Ad, how much of these two men shaped each other's careers? The fact that one previously held the title, the fact the other could hold the title for the first time ever, and the fact that the one that held the title might not have another chance to ever hold it again.
No, that makes me sad. I'm sad now.
Well, I don't mean to, I'm just the man that just speaks the facts.
I know, you're
and
just
reality.
speaking the truth, man.
But nonetheless, it's time to find out what Kenny Omega is about to do. As again, for those that are just now tuning in, MJF made a deal with Kenny Omega and expects the shooter we will get now. If Kenny Omega wants to get any closer to the AEW World Championship one more time, he has to face MJF next week. But if he loses, he will never, ever be able to pursue the AEW World Championship again.
It's crazy that we might not get to see much of Kenny Omega anymore anytime soon, which is kind of sad.
Well, again, Ash, what is Kenny Omega if he can't prove that he is the best bout machine, the cleaner, one of the best going today? If he can't hold the richest prize in a company that he really has to find in AEW.
I mean, Omega doesn't need to go after the title, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind seeing it. Like, I get it. Omega doesn't need the title, but it's like, storyline-wise, like, what makes more sense and what would sell more? MJF versus Ospreay or Omega versus Ospreay?
The fact of the matter that both those matches are a must-see attraction that could sell out Wembley Stadium speaks for itself when it comes to the importance and the magnitude of what will be on the line at Wembley against Will Ospreay. Let's go ahead and find out what Kenny Omega has chosen to do.
I mean, I rather to answer Ash, I rather
keyword I
keyword I would rather see MJF versus Will, because I just feel like you can keep us engaged with it. Not to say that Kenny can't, but I mean, if Kenny's not there, what does Kenny have to do, right? What would Kenny be doing at All In, right? So I mean, it kind of makes sense.
It's all he's had for over half of his life. $42 old. Still giving the same 100% Kenny Omega every time, despite post-diverticulitis, by the way. Broken records, won titles. A career I could probably hang my hand and be proud. Just see what? Selfish farmer that just knows it's not enough. Talk about chasing the dragon. Proven to yourself. If Will can't believe, I should believe. Ash, do you believe?
Yes. Of course I do.
You know what I believe in?
Omega's champion, god damn it. I don't care if it's transitional or not.
That's fair enough. But again, you can't pull that trope here. It's not in this brand, so don't try.
I was gonna say I believe in Canada. It's a great country.
Yeah, I suppose you live there.
Yes, we believe in Omega like we should believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, anyway, let's see what Kenny Omega has to say. Enough of the Canadian anthem.
If I fail,
Next present All Elite Wrestling.
I will become just like
Where I can face Will Ospreay.
Just like Hangman. I will become just another man that can never challenge for that belt.
All I have to do is put it on the line against you, Max.
And the question is the cost
if I fail,
too high?
Just like Heyman. I become just like another man who would never challenge for that belt
And the answer is
ever again.
no.
And the question is the cost just simply too high? Well, is it? And the answer is no. Uh-oh. When we put it on the line, again, if he loses, he'll never be involved in a time ever again, period. One possibility I've considered. Still that same person people call the best belt machine. Still this person called Cleaner. Still there's some out there, the god of professional wrestling. Preach! By God. Freaking giving a gospel. So I have one more chance. Just gets the blood flowing. Am I going to set you up for it? The answer is yes! Kenny Omega accepts! So next week, bring the BBB. Bring yourself. And get ready to press over what has rightfully been mine. Because the last time we wrestled. But this time I'm prepared. I don't think you are prepared. But until then, I must bid you a fine adieu. So everybody say it with me, you will. Goodbye, mwah, and good night. Bang! Kenny Omega has chosen to make the deal with the devil. Oh, what the hell? From behind, MJF with a sneak attack. Kenny Omega literally just accepted MJF's offer like 15 seconds ago, and immediately MJF is on the move. And of course, MJF knows the danger that Kenny Omega imposes, and Kenny, double A takedown now, teeing up against the AEW World Champion who's looking to hit him with that 100K Dynamite Diamond ring, and security once again trying to remove these two men from battering one another, saving a marquee match for next week at Beach Break. Good grief, we got at least 12 people in there this time with a ref corps and security. It was Maxwell Jacob Freeman that made the deal. He might reap what he sows. And Kenny Omega throwing himself at MJF. Swinging lefts and rights. How bad does MJF want to continue to show why he's the absolute greatest of all time and remove anyone that opposes him? Got like 15 men right now holding MJF. You want about blood boiling? Whose blood's boiling now? I can't wait for next week. I'm so damn ready for Beach Break. Finally, Kenny Omega and MJF being kept separated. I'm not sure who that is, unless that's a guy from the UK. We got the entire Rev Corps out here and 10 damn security guards. Sheesh. MJF probably wasn't expecting Kenny Omega to do this. But either way, the AEW World Championship is on the line next week at Beach Break. Kenny Omega's last chance, one-on-one with Maxwell Jacob Freeman. And if Kenny Omega loses, he is removed permanently from the AEW Championship picture. The entire road to Wembley could be altered within 7 days if the Cleaner rises to the occasion one last time. And if the devil finally falls before a god next week, Wednesday night. But for the time being, that concludes this edition of AEW Dynamite. So on behalf of Ash, on behalf of Nick, this has been the Canadian Connection. I hope you've all enjoyed our coverage of AEW Dynamite. And until next time we are on your screens or in your feeds, whether on YouTube or the X, make a positive impact in life and have a good night. And thank you for tuning in to another edition of AEW Dynamite. Got the damn feed.